Previously on Unranked.
I have heard of Linux for a very long. It's like this mysterious thing to. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right. Like you got Mac.
Mind
you
you,
got your
this
Mac,
is his
you got your Microsoft.
530th episode of doing a podcast about video games that he's done weekly for over a decade, and it's just in one ear.
I'm not in
out
the
the
sauce.
other.
I'm not in the sauce. I'm not in the sauce. I don't know what it is. I know the word. I know it's been around, right? I know it's like you got your Microsoft, you got your Mac, and then there's Linux, right? And then it's like, well, I don't know what it does. And then isn't there also something like strawberry pie or something like that? Isn't that another thing? Raspberry pie.
Strawberry pie. Strawberry pie.
Strawberry
I love
pie. Hello and welcome to the 531st episode of the Unranked podcast. This is Christian Humes here with Tommy, the Magic Hand, Tom Caswell. Back.
Hello, everyone. Back from the dead. And with Tuna. Oh, wait, he's not here this week.
Yeah, if we have you on at the same time, the world could collapse. It's too powerful.
Is that what has been the problem the last decade? Me and Tuna
powerful.
started doing a podcast March 2016, and we've been plunged in darkness ever since.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, my
Tom,
God.
all I'm saying is, before this podcast existed, Barack Obama was the president.
Right. Life was better.
Yeah. It was better.
It was better.
Yeah, it was better.
Gas
hey, what's
was
up?
not $4.50 in New Jersey a decade ago. Let's put it that
we're
way.
$6.50 here.
Yeah, I know. I see it climbing up to $7 over there.
Well, we're receiving
Have
our
fun
last
with that.
shipment, so
Oh, that'll bring in prices right
hey,
down.
I got that electric battery, man.
Yeah,
I got that.
that's
I
nice.
got that battery at least. I'm
That's
very
nice.
glad that I got that.
I want to live in. I want to get one of those. I want to do one of those things. One of my favorite little details in a sci-fi movie is Looper with the Bruce Willis.
Dude, fucking
thingy.
rad movie.
Great movie. One of my favorite details is like they've converted all the gas vehicles into solar. So like they've put solar panels, and then they've done that. Every car has like a gas converter for the solar energy, and I want one of those because I don't want to have to buy a new car.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely, it does.
So, anyway, welcome to the Unranked podcast.
Welcome.
Oh man, alive!
Welcome. This is a podcast where we talk about video games and other things.
Video games plus.
Imagine if we were one of those. We're like, hey, welcome to the Internet Podcast, the premier source for video game information. Like,
We're definitely not that.
go fuck yourself. No.
No, this is not a. It can be substantive in moments.
Yeah. Let's talk about Pokemon.
Let's talk about it.
And I'm looking forward to it because whenever you go away and you're having a good time,
Shit.
it's all
Yeah.
quiet on the Western Front from Thomas.
Oh yeah, I don't.
the messages.
Yeah.
I mean, you do. You ping
Oh.
us. You ping us with like high interest things,
yes,
but otherwise, it's like, oh, Tom is
I'm
harvesting conversation.
It's simply I'm just not on my phone.
Yeah.
that much
No,
while
I-
I'm doing these things.
Or you are, and you're recording, on
or I'm
your phone.
recording. Yeah. Or or I'm using it to record. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Or
how I can
sometimes
always
even
tell.
write.
Like, oh, Tom's having a
Sometimes
really
even
good time,
Google
or
Docs.
Tom's like got a lot of downtime and is bored. Is because like sometimes you take a work trip and you're messaging us the whole time. You're catching up on TV. You know, because you're like in the hotel probably like doing stuff. Or
I
just
did
hanging out.
I did actually catch up on some stuff I was away. But I
We'll
was
we'll
busy a lot of the time.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Let's
the
talk about this
531st Pokemon, Tom. You missed
Mm.
last week, so can you tell me who's that Pokemon?
Pokemon 531 is Audino.
Audino.
Yeah,
This is sort of in that, kind of chancy family of Pokemon design. This sort of
it is.
strange pink and beige Pokemon. One would think it's like an alien. It does not evolve, but there is a mega form, and this
There's
is
a
just a
mega.
tank. This is a tank ass Pokemon.
Oh,
The
this
mega
is
is
one of
fairy
those.
type, which is
Mhm.
what the normal should be.
I agreed. Yes, this is a normal, for some stupid fucking reason, a normal type Pokemon, even though we've introduced the fairy mechanic at this point.
Correct.
Yeah, so
yes.
What are we doing?
And gone back and changed some of the other normal ass Pokemon that should
I'm gonna be look, I'm gonna be honest, and this might be an ignorant take because maybe it throws the balancing off. Get nuke normal. Just nuke it. I don't. I don't know. Maybe look. I'm sure there's some way mechanically for the way that the types work that normal is very useful. But I'm saying, like, if you were going to be cool instead, if you weren't worried about shit like that, and you just want to be cool, get rid of normal types. Just do it.
I'm not totally against what you're saying. I do think Fairy was like a big help because there were a lot of Pokemon that didn't make sense in normal because they used way too many abilities.
I think it's just the word normal.
It is the word normal,
we could change it to like
neutral
or like something, but normal is just like
I wonder
Pokemon.
if it translates directly to normal in Japanese or if it's something else. You know?
And they have a much better fucking name for it.
Yeah. It's entirely possible. But it's like it is a cool designed Pokemon, but it being a normal type like really takes the wind out of its sails.
It looks you know, again, this is in the vein of the Chanseys but I think like I prefer this to like a Chansey or a Clefairy.
Yeah. Yes, like, I think they lean into this.
And I like its mega a lot.
Little like
the wispy.
It's like a tendril almost.
Yeah, like
it's like a skin
an antenna.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, I think technically, based on this image, it would be its earlobes, but. Like,
oh, you're right. It is like weird little earlobes.
It's like earlobes on a
You're
branch,
absolutely right.
Vine, but And obviously it's Audino, right? So if we want to get
Pokemon.
if we want, Audino. Okay, I've been pronouncing it. Oh, because Audino may be derived from audio and a pun on the phrase "I don't know." Its Japanese name is Tabune.
Oh man, it's a Game Busters, Tom.
Yeah, audio. I don't know. Actually, here we go. It's in Japanese.
That pink thing doesn't remember. I don't know.
Tabune, which is its Japanese name, may be derived from a pun of tabune, which means maybe, or tabun, hearing many things. It may also involve mimitabu, which means earlobe. So there you go. So that's its lobes.
I liked it better when I thought it was more of a Davy Jones tendril.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like an alien thing. Yeah, it's mega sick.
The mega is super cool.
I think that its shiny is in the acceptable category.
Yes,
which
I agree.
It's fine
it goes
with
from
me.
Pink to purple for anyone listening.
But it's not some like ugly color clash, and as long as it's not some ugly color clash, then I am a-okay with it.
I'm happy with the palette swap so long as it's not an ugly color clash.
Yeah,
it can be. But it also has to be noticeable. I hate when it's just
when it's just
slight. When I'm like, I can't even tell. I can't even tell
if you can't even tell.
Because if we're talking like light blue to dark blue, that's fine. It's fine. It's not as interesting. But when it's like, I'm not sure what the fuck the difference between these two Pokemon is. No, thank you.
No thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, where is... Oh, no, we got a Pokemon...
I'll pull up the facts while you pull up that chart. The Pokedex has a little bit to say about Audino here. Go black and white too. Using the feelers on its ears, there you go, it can tell how someone is feeling or when an egg might hatch. Okay, so there is almost something there. Dude, the normal types always have this weird problem of like, are they telepathic? And then we have like, the way they're described and the way they act. But then that's where Fairy came from, and like, the moonstones with a lot of these. They did a decent job retroactively solving this but it was next gen. This gen, the Fairy type didn't start, right? That wasn't till next gen. Was the Fairy type, was Gen 6. So that does make sense, I guess, as to why this was stuck with normal. This one wasn't retroactively solved.
Yeah. So we haven't had the fairy type introduced. Yeah,
that'll be
okay.
next. That'll be the next generation. Yeah.
There we go.
Also, such a good addition because it's the one thing they absolutely. I still think flying was sort of a mistake, and it should have been like air because they could still introduce like an air type, but there's so many things that would go under that are flying. But then there's like weird things that's like, I don't know, I wouldn't call this a flying Pokemon, you know? So it's never gonna be perfect, Tom. Where do you
It's
think we're
never
putting
going to be
this?
perfect. Yeah, I'm looking.
I'm thinking around Stoutland.
Yeah, I see you in there. I see a little icon popping up.
Around there. I don't know if it should be going up, if it should be going down.
Excadrill is Excadrill last week's?
Yeah.
Excadrill.
It probably, yeah.
I'm
It
going.
is Excadrill, right?
I put it under Oshawott, above
Drover. I'm
Yep.
good with that. Oh no, the new number 28. All
Okay.
right, that's it for this week's Pokemon. That is single generation, so the Mega's cool. The Mega's super cool. But that's like the most that I was going for.
Yep. It's middle of the road there.
All right, Tom.
Oy vey.
Where you been? What's going on?
Where have I been? I've been in Sin City.
I've been everywhere, man.
Been in Sin City. Tell you what, awful turbulence getting into Vegas, and it's pretty common apparently. Just with the way that it's structured in the desert, like the wind pockets are crazy.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But it was really bad coming in. But no, I was in Vegas.
There.
I mean,
it's a 4-hour drive.
It's a great road trip from LA.
Yeah, it's a 4-hour drive.
It's a cool town, man. Vegas, like it's even with the I don't gamble at all, but it's got a cool vibe, and it was cool because one of the people that was at MagicCon, which is where I was there for, they live locally, and so like hearing them talking about like growing up in this town and like the stuff outside the strip, like it's cool shit. Anyway, was there for MagicCon. Basically, the big thing for MagicCon this year is the fact that Magic's head designer, a guy called Mark Rosewater, who didn't create Magic but joined the company only like maybe 5 years, I think, into it existing, or joined the brand specifically because Wizards of the Coast existed before Magic was created, which it was 93, I believe, and he joined in like 96 or something. So maybe 3 years. Anyway, he's been there for forever. He now basically is the main designer for the card game, and he has come up with what he describes as, when Magic was originally invented, it was designed to be a card game that you played in between sessions of D&D. And this new game that he's designed called Mood Swings is designed to be a card game you play between rounds of Magic. It's very simple. It's very quick because you play one card. Each person plays one card per turn. Whatever the score is, that each card has a value and it has an ability. It does something. So, like one of the cards is like, this card is worth X normally, but it's worth Y if this thing happens. Or like if there's a certain amount of, it uses the same color pie, right? So there's 5 different colors that cards can be. It's like this card is worth twice as much for every red card on the board or what have you. And you just play, and you play. One person plays a card one turn, the next person plays a card, and then whoever wins that wins round 1. You move on to the next round. The person that lost the first round gets to draw a card and go second, because going second is usually the advantageous position. And the cards that are on the table stay, and you each play another card, see how the rounds turn, and then it's first to 3, and that's the rules. But it isn't this thing where it's it's designed like, oh, you just buy a pack. It comes with 45 cards, but it isn't just 45 cards total. There's like 133 cards, each of different like common, uncommon, right? Rare, mythic, or whatever. And so you can just buy more decks if you want, and you'll get, potentially get more cards. But they're not selling boosters or anything like that. It's meant to just be something that you can buy the single deck and you're done. And you're pulling from one deck. That's the other little tidbit, the other differentiator between it and Magic. But it's called Mood Swings because all of the cards are named after emotions. And so arrogance, hatred, loyalty, paranoia, vanity, these are all names of cards. And it was cool. It was cool playing this guy who's literally apparently been designing it for 28 years. He even showed like the original prototype cards he made all the way back in the day, and has just been kind of slowly working on it all that time. And it was cool because we'd played a game and it basically got to a point where there was a card that he could play that typically you would want to target. You can pick a target, right? Because you can play with more than just one, two people. It can be up to however many you want, essentially. And so, this card allows you to target someone. Now, someone could be you, but most likely you're going to target an opponent, and the thing on the card is going to basically make them get rid of a card. And he had a card in play that if his hand was empty, it would be worth twice as much. And so he was like, it was paranoia. He's like, I've never, in the 28 years I've played this game, had a reason to play paranoia on myself. And like, I'm finally going to get to use it in this way. So it was this interesting dichotomy between the fact that it's a very fast-paced game, but also there was clearly a lot of depth and different strategies. And when I was reading the cards, some of them, like, I had to reread, like, oh, what does this do? And like thinking of all the potential ways you could play that. So clearly they've been developing it for a while. And so I'm excited. It comes out June 1st. It's $25 for a deck. You just buy it through Magic's website because it's a secret lair drop, which is their brand that they do for their like limited run stuff. From what I understand in my discussions, this isn't necessarily limited. They are making a batch of first editions, and then like they'll make, because did you know this, Chris? Wizards of the Coast originally had the Pokemon license, and the very first few Pokemon sets were Wizards of the Coast cards. And if you get a first edition Pokemon card, there is a logo on it that says like first edition, and they're reusing that for this. And one of the cool things is that the cards feature like a way for them to make it really affordable to make the cards is all of the cards feature concept art for existing Magic cards. So they're using like old drawings and sketches and things like that for the artwork on these cards, which is pretty cool. And because they view it very much as like a prototype, and with further additions, like the cards make it a bit more extravagant. So that was a neat little feature. So that was the kind of big thing that got announced. Paul Bettany showed up, which was really interesting because they had like a panel looking at all their big releases this year in Magic, and one of them is Marvel Superheroes, and they did a Vision like panel, and they kind of pitched it.
Are they making that TV show still? Is that happening?
Yes, this fall, supposedly. Okay. Yes.
Is anyone I think it's from WandaVision involved in that?
We have no idea.
We don't know anything.
We know nothing outside of who is working on it, and Paul Bettany will be in it. That's it. Okay. I'm assuming.
WandaVision. Like for all of the hate that like post Endgame Marvel gets, we still got like
some
that fucking
stuff.
Spider-Man movie. we got like Loki and WandaVision and Agatha are all like excellent. They are all up there with the best Marvel stuff.
I think that from what I read, and this was kind of around Agatha, this was like in the thing. In my opinion, not in my opinion, from what I remember, they were really heavily teasing that they kind of view, all right, it's WandaVision is part one, Agatha is the next part of the story, and then like to end it, we're doing this Vision. Like that's how we're gonna finish. Because it
seemed
up
like the way Agatha
from...
ended, it was, but I wasn't sure if it was the same people because, of course, obviously with Multiverse of Madness, they just kind of just made this another person did it, and then it's not that movie had a problem. It's like it's the problem between going from WandaVision to that movie for her character. It was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it was as much as I like Wanda in Doctor Strange Part 2, it does feel like, oh, we could have just done something more with this character in this form, like in this kind of part of, we didn't need to bring her into Doctor Strange. And
yeah, it just did. It was not cohesive. It was two different like people that, with no lines of communication making their own thing, and each one individually is good, but the connective tissue there really kind of sours that movie.
I agree with that.
Even though I really enjoyed it, like while I watched it, the whole time I was also like, yeah, but this doesn't really make any sense.
Well, real quick, speaking of good MCU, I did finish Daredevil Born Again season 1 while I was away. Did you? Where are you with that one? None, nowhere.
I'm so behind on everything since we had this kid. You
sure,
know?
fair enough.
Like I haven't seen shit. I haven't seen. Like we just caught up with the current. We're trying to stay current on the things as they're releasing, and the stuff we missed, it's just like it's in our backlog.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen Fantastic Four, and I conceptually love Fantastic Four. We haven't, as far as I'm aware. I hear this new one is like some people really like it.
You'll like it.
At worst,
I think you'll like it.
At worst, I hear it's fine, but I heard some people think it's like great. So I'm like, okay, like
I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
I think this Mando Grogu movie will be good too. I think it'll be good. I don't think it's gonna blow me away, but I think it's gonna be good.
We'll see. We'll see on Mando Grogu. Mando Grogu. They should just call it Mando Grogu instead of the Mandalorian Grogu.
I did get used to his name eventually, but they should have, if they were gonna give him a name, obviously they should have done it like way earlier in the series. Because
rather than it being like
Baby Yoda.
Okay, it means nothing. This name means nothing.
Yeah, and I feel like they could have had a different name for this movie than The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
But
it just could have been called The Mandalorian. Like, and then people would be like, oh, movie, TV show, and it'd be like The Movie. Anyway, Daredevil Born Again Season 1, enjoyed it overall. It gets better as it goes on, as it sheds away kind of what, like a lot of the, because they shot like 4 episodes and then they completely swapped in showrunners, and so they shot more stuff to change up those episodes, and then the second half of the season is becomes more and more like the new showrunners. So it just gets progressively better as it goes. I do think the end of the first season rushes some things, and like the stakes and everything ratchets up very quickly after what has been a little bit of a slow burn, or like honestly like a really nice tempo. Like I thought the pacing of the season was really solid, and then at the end it's like everything pops off and everything happens, and it's like, okay, we are leading even more into like Daredevil has always had to toe a difficult line of like comic book and like dark and gritty, right? And I feel like the balance was good, and then it just gets really comic booky at the end, and it just feels unbalanced. And that's totally fine, but like Daredevil is one of these things that
criticism of a lot of MCU stuff is it falls apart at the end.
Yeah, it doesn't fall. It in no way falls apart, and I hear the second season is really good, and I've
only heard good things about it. I've not watched it because it's 18 episodes, and when you're
it's
like
only now it's 18. Between the 2 seasons, it's 18.
Oh, I thought each season was like almost like a broadcast, which I'm like, obviously I keep asking for it, right? I got it with like The Pit, and I love it, but once you miss it. Now I'm like,
that was the original plan, but when they did the showrunner switch, So that's also kind of part of the problem with season 1.
Okay.
And granted, I can just jump into season 2, but it really ends on like,
It's half
all right,
a season.
we're just kind of getting started here. Like
Got
the
it.
actual kind of like we are setting up this huge kind of confrontation between Fisk and Daredevil, and then it ends right, and it's an epic ending. And like I would have been like, oh my god, I cannot wait for the next season of this show. But we get to that kind of ending quite quickly from where we were, but enjoyed it. I think it's good. Definitely worth checking out especially if you enjoy other Daredevil seasons. And then because I had them installed and downloaded, I also started up Ironheart because I was like, fuck it, let's just try and catch up.
Whoa, you're going to actually watch that?
I got 3 episodes in. It's only 6 episodes. It is fine.
Okay.
It has some good moments.
Yeah.
I think
who is in that? Who is in that? There's someone in that I remember being like, why the fuck are they in this?
It's got the guy who played was in Hamilton, and he plays Hamilton's son in the second half, and I forget who he is in the first half of the show.
I'm gonna look up everyone in that because there's a comedian also, and I can't remember who it is.
It's oh my god, Eric Andre is in it.
I wanted to say Eric Andre, and I'm just like, but in my head, I'm like, there's no way. Don't say that out loud because you sound like a crazy person. Be like, Eric Andre's in the. I love Eric.
He's not in it for very long. He's in it for a very short amount of time.
Do you remember what I told you? I saw him live. He did a live performance of the Eric Andre show, which like that show, Therese gets overstimulated really easy. So like Therese does find it funny, like in clips and stuff. But whenever it's on for too long, by the end of it, she's like, "You got to turn it off." She's like, but she found out that he was going to be performing live, and it was literally just a live version of his show, like basically on the stage, and it was so fucking Tom. Like he at one point like filled like a super soaker with mayonnaise, and he's like, "Who wants some?" And he's just spraying it into the crowd and shit.
Well, he doesn't do that in this. He doesn't do that in this. Yeah, I like the characters in it, and like the kind of dynamics between them are honestly, again, like done well, to the point where I find that the stories and these characters compelling, that my kind of quibbles with the writing are like kind of whatever. But it is a little hard to see these two shows existing in the same world.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's in it.
He doesn't show up until the end.
Sure.
But he is ultimately in it. But no, I liked it, or like at least liked starting it. So I caught up on those while I was away. But yeah, played a ton of Magic while I was there. I went to the Sphere. I was trying to see if I could. There was something to do there. They only had the fucking AI Wizard of Oz, which I'm not watching. And
I'm so glad you said that, Tom. The amount of people I know that have gone to see it and they're like, "It's so cool," and I'm like,
no fucking way. You're out of your mind.
Stop.
Why the fuck would you want to do that? It's so
Tom. A lot of people don't realize that it is like AI generated stuff on the side, so they just think like, they're like, they made. But for most people, it's just like, you're in the Sphere, right?
But
you're
it's
in
just,
the Sphere.
It would be one thing if
I don't want to do it. I think they're dumb.
It would be one thing if it was like, it's going to be Pacific Rim or something, but it's like, you know what I mean? And like, and they actually made it like with artistry to work in this space or whatever. That would be, I paid the $100, but fucking AI Wizard of Oz, like there isn't a project you could get me that I'm less interested in viewing in this thing. Yeah. And everything else was just like tickets to go see, just like bands and stuff. And so I walked to it, but it was the thing of like when I walked to it, I was like, well, this is way less compelling up close. Yeah. It's only interesting when you can see it in bull form. And then I couldn't figure out how to get into it. So I was like, fuck it. That's good enough.
Like the ads like on the outside of it?
Sure.
she edits those for
that's cool.
the sphere. So like she intakes the stuff and like makes it and like works with the company. Like that's so weird.
Yeah.
It is cool looking from far away, but it's so dumb. It's just another monument to insanity.
Oh, 1000%. Oh, it's totally like just like the gilded, like the pearl, like of just absolute farce.
Yeah.
In Vegas. But
Las Vegas has Pop Stroke, which is so fucking rad. And if you were there for extra time, you should have done it because man, Pop Stroke
you know
is
what
like
I
the
ended up
coolest
at?
thing in the world. Where?
I ended up at the real life Meow Wolf.
Oh, you went to Meow Wolf.
I went to
awesome.
Meow
Very
Wolf.
cool.
Yeah,
my friend Alana, she had her wedding at Meow Wolf. It was sick.
Because that's where the magic after party was.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I didn't realize until after that it had been Meow Wolf because we did it, and like the next day I was just like chatting with someone. And they were like, if you're here, there's something that's really... Because I was talking to them, and they were like, oh, what do you want to do? And I was like, I was trying to see some of the sphere. Don't want to see AI Wizard of Oz, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, you should go to Meow Wolf. I was like, oh, I know the mini golf course. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, well, there's this game. And like, my friends will really love to hear that I went to Meow Wolf because of this golf course. And it's not a real golf course, but blah, blah, blah. And then I Googled it. I Googled it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, where is it? How do I get there? When can I do this? And I Google and I pull it up and I'm like, fuck, this is where I was last night. Like, shit, fuck. I would have taken it in more a bit if I had known that. It was very cool, like installation, and I mean, there's like bars there, and there's things to buy and stuff, but it's also like a art installation. It's very neat. Definitely worth going to, because I think you can just go there and do the stuff that's there.
I think there's other Meow Wolf. I think they have other locations. I don't think it's
there
just
are,
Vegas.
but this is the Meow Wolf that's in Vegas. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That because that's why I was trying to confirm, because it's and then, but despite being all this busy, this past week I have beaten 2 games.
Holy.
Real quick on both of these. Finished Sea of Stars with Brooke.
Oh, cool.
Got to the end of that. I really think this is maybe, especially when it comes to like turn-based games, like one of my favorites.
Wow.
It is just so fun to play. The kind of gameplay things that you unlock toward the end are really cool. I do think it rushes its end. It was over and I was like, oh, okay, wow. Because there comes a point in the game where you think you're done, and then something happens, you're like, oh no, we have got a lot of game left. And then when you get to the actual ending, it was just, oh, it's done. Okay, interesting. I know that they have DLC for it, and they clearly like set stuff up like we're gonna do more with this story, and there's other things to find in the game and go back and do. But it's a really cool game. Really glad that I saw it through, and I think just mechanically, like, it's not just even the turn-based like timing gameplay. It's the how streamlined getting like new armor and leveling up is. You know, when you level up, it's like, cool, we're just going to boost your stats, and then you can pick one additional stat to boost. And then with armor, it's like, cool, you have found the better armor for this character, put it on. You can sell the old armor, which you can then use to buy armor that you might have missed, because there's hidden chests and things, and it's all just like super streamlined. And really, really enjoyed Sea of Stars. And then the other game that I finished is kind of cheating because the game is only like 4 hours long. But I played and beat Mixtape. This is This is the new game from Beethoven and Dinosaur, who did The Artful Escape. I forget when that game came out. I think that was like 2020.
It was a while ago.
It was on Game Pass. It was, this like indie music game. This Mixtape. It is another music inspired game because the writer and director of the game, Johnny Galvatron, he is used to be an Australian rock star, and then he wanted to make a video game and like left the music scene and like did all this stuff. And so it's very music inspired. It's about this character called Stacy Rockford. It's set in like a California town called Blue Moon Lagoon. It is their final night. It is her and her two friends, and it is their final night in town. They had a road trip planned to go down to LA for their final summer, but Stacy, the main character, has kind of ruined that plan because what she wants to do is go to New York to chase her dream of becoming a music supervisor, which, as she puts it, is someone that just like picks music for movies and TV and all this stuff and like decides what is going to be on the soundtracks and things. And as you're playing through the game, she is walking you through the player the soundtrack that she is specifically, or the mixtape that she's put together that she specifically wants to give like the premier music supervisor in the world that lives in New York, and she admits to like stalking her and like knowing everything about her, and she wants to become her protege. So throughout the whole game, it is the music of that mixtape as you are spending your last day with your friends in this town. And it, like I said, it's only about 4 hours. It is like 50% cutscenes, 50% like just little gameplay moments. Like one of the things is as simple as you are in 7-Eleven, or it's called Heaven 11 in their world, and you are like making a slushie, and you are just getting to pour. You can make your own slushie and like pour the different dispensers, and then like you can just make it however you want, and there's no score or anything. It's just like, how freaky can you make this slushie? Another one is you're just skipping rocks on the lake, and like there are things to hit, and there are like tires to like get through if you want. And it's just all these little gameplay nuggets that happen frequently. They're always fun. There isn't a single one that I was like, oh, I'm not enjoying what it's asking me to do. Like, even one of them is literally just like a flashback to you like listening to like Smashing Pumpkins in the car, and you can just press different buttons to do different forms of like headbanging or like air guitar, and it's just like cutting through the scene, different shots as you're doing these different things, and you're just randomly pressing buttons, but it's just executed so well and so enjoyable. And by the time you're over, it's done, and we're moved on to the next thing. So I think the gameplay is actually fun, even though it's really rudimentary. But the writing and the stories and the characters, I was tearing up at the end. Like, this is one of my favorite coming of age stories I've watched or played through, and it really because of the way it implements the gameplay, it really, I think, justifies its existence as a game. Like,
how would you compare the gameplay to, say, Dispatch?
So, I mean, Dispatch, really, you only have the one mechanic, right? The dispatching that you just do over and over. This is obviously very different because it's a bunch of little things. There's less, like, strategy, even though Dispatch is very light. It's certainly in that vein. But imagine if in Dispatch, it was cutscenes are happening, and then during that cutscene, you know, like there's that one, you know, something happens during that cutscene, and then to advance the story, it gives you like a little gameplay moment.
Yeah,
you know, that's how it's played. But I think I think if you like Dispatch, you'll like this. Obviously, it's a much quicker game, even though Dispatch wasn't very long. But it's certainly in the same vein. And it also just, the writing is like as good as that, right? It's a different story, but it feels like on that level. The quality of the animation and the way the game looks is just, I mean, I think Dispatch looks great, but this it has like a very Into the Spider-Verse feel with the frame rate different, like the characters move in like half the frame rate, but the game's moving like butter. And
do you think that saves them on resources?
Potentially.
Or is it just a style? You know, I've been curious about that. Like, is it just a stylistic design, or does it actually save them resources?
It certainly might. But yeah, it looks like I'm telling you right now, I don't think there is a game that I've played in a long time where I could say, if you're listening to this now, go play this game. Like, you will enjoy your time with it. Like, I really cannot imagine anyone playing this game and not being like, what a delightful experience. And it is on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, go for it. It is only $20 for it, and like, I know it's only 4 hours, but I think it's a really fucking well written delight, and they have me fucking emotional at the end. And so yeah, so there you go. Those are the two games I beat this week, and that's what I've been up to pretty much.
I mean, that's pretty good. Beating two games is significant.
Two for the price of one, especially for me.
2 for 1 deal.
What you got going on?
You know, I got some going on. I've been trying to fix. Sorry, I've been trying to fix my camera that like decided to, I don't know, get weird during that for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what it's doing.
There you go.
Yeah, like just all my settings like went out. Like while you were talking, all of my video settings on my camera just like went out the window, and I've never seen that happen before. It just was like, you know what?
You're done.
Yeah, like, well, it'll be weird for people in the video. All of a sudden, I probably like the contrast. All of a sudden, just like went like through the roof.
You look quite
the
angelic.
Background got like crushed. Yeah, like my light is like super, but if I take my light off me, I think it's gonna be like too dark now. I don't know.
Sure.
Whatever. All right. Well, so Alex and I both started Pragmata last week. So I've been playing a little bit of that. Didn't get nearly as much time in it as I want, partially because it's well, 2 reasons. The first is that's not a game I want to play in more than like less than like 30 minutes. I want at least 30 minutes to play the game, or I'm just wasting my time.
Yes.
Sure. So I haven't made much progress yet, but when I am able to play, it's been great.
Do you know like how far you in?
I'm very early in that game. I'm curious. Is this what a modern Resident Evil feels like a little bit? Because there is a little bit of like, these androids that I'm fighting, these like robots on the base. They sort of do feel like robot zombies in a way when I'm fighting them. Like some of the the humanoid
walkers,
ones.
yes.
Yeah. And the way that like the destructible weapons like sort of gives you it's a little Zelda-y, like Breath of the Wild in that way, where I'm like kind of dropping weapons as I run out of ammunition.
I mean, it's certainly like, I would say that if you were comparing this like Resident Evil 4 remake, it feels similar to that.
That's what I was thinking.
I think it has like, that's the underlayer, and that's understandable also considering that it's also an RE engine. Like, this is the same engine so it makes sense. It's a bespoke engine, right? And so it makes sense that it feels like an RE game. That being said, I mean, you will obviously encounter a wider variety of different bots, but again, in Resident Evil, that is kind of how Resident Evil 4 Resident Evil 4 escalates the same way. Like, you've got your basic zombies, basic grunt enemies, and then eventually it's like more and more different mutations and things you'll be confronted by them. And then obviously you have the hacking element, right? Which is adding like
I love
layer.
the hacking element. I think
better.
it's really fun because the actual shooting and fighting is it's kind of basic, but the hacking elevates it in a lot of ways, and I think it's good because I'm not like a super soldier. I'm like an astronaut, and I'm like trying to survive on this base. So I shouldn't be like Master Chief running around acting all crazy. I should just be, space dad with his little girl, and she's got to help me hack the robot. Like it's very cool what they're doing.
It certainly expands, though, like, especially as you get more different, right? Because you have the main pistol, and then you have all of these other different weapon types that you can eventually pick up. And, like, it keeps adding new mechanics and new things, and like the hacking like improves and gets different things you can do with it. So toward the end, I honestly felt pretty powerful.
I'm sure.
But
I don't really feel. I think I've only failed like once. I don't think I've had to restart so far like one time, like go back to run through again. There are moments where like my health got low or like I was running low on, weaponry to help myself out.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been struggling yet. So I could see that. I could definitely see a world in which I'm just kind of like blasting through.
I don't think you'll ever struggle, especially if you like are picking up the things to do upgrades and the red zones you'll eventually run into, which are the levels that offer a bit of a challenge because later on in the game, as you're quite like, there'll always be like a weapon to pick up, but then there are these red zones where it's not really offering you new tools. You kind of go in.
You gotta have to get through it.
You're kind of going in with what you have, and like you might get one or two additional things, but you can't just like be going through everything.
I love when games do that stuff because I want to get more powerful and feel more powerful, but then you want to still have challenge every now and then.
This is a game that has this, I think, like just like an excellent pacing of escalation of like building up in power. Every subsequent area gets more interesting to explore. You're doing more interesting things. You're encountering more interesting enemies. You're enjoying and having more variety in the gameplay. It's my game of the year so far. That has not changed.
Well, another game that I played, and it came out yesterday, is the PlayStation VR 2 update for Flight Simulator 2024.
Oh,
Tom, you should try and get yourself a code for this because I know it's not worth it for you to spend the money to buy this game.
Sure.
You should try. I wonder if there's crossplay. I wonder if you could be in non-VR while I'm in VR. Because then you could do it through Game Pass. Or whatever.
I mean, does it even have multiplayer? I have no idea.
Yeah,
oh, it does. Okay.
You could be in co-op. Like I can fly, right? And you can be in the co-pilot. And I've done it enough that with some planes, especially like a Cessna, like I can get us up and get us down. I can land most of the time now. And man, dude, in VR, it's incredible. A really cool thing you can do if you're in like the Cessnas, because they're not going to go too fast. And, these are the really small, light airplanes, the kind that you would picture just like someone on a farm having. You can actually like unlock the window next to you and pop the window open and like lean your head out. Now, you could also just like break your head through the wall and just move out anyway. But doing it that way is like, it's very fucking cool. That game has had incredible updates to the world. Like the amount of actual geometry when you are close up to things like near the ground now, it is. So I took a flight earlier. I was flying around Perth in Australia, and then I also went to Hawaii, and I flew at Vegas as well because those are areas that have all had updates over the last like year or two. They have these like crazy new high resolution scans that Microsoft has. It's such a Tom. I get up there. I like to take some of the bigger planes. So you want to get up above the cloud layer. It's awesome when you like pull through the clouds in the VR, and you've got your hands like you grab the yoke and you pull it back. In VR.
You're using the PSVR 2 controllers.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so you're actually like you have all the little switches and everything. I actually think it's a lot easier to play because when I used to play with just the controller, like you can't. It's harder to like just with like a targeting like stuff to like see what everything is, whereas with this everything is you're sitting right up on the control board, all the little panels, like all of the displays like work, and I can read them, and they're like I can just lean over and like I can look at my altimeter, like everything is there. I don't need the normal UI stuff that you have to kind of manage. It's really really fun. You should. I'll find out about the crossplay thing. If that doesn't work, you should see if you can get a code. I bet they would get you a code so that you can look at it in PSVR.
Yeah, I'll be one of the 5 people.
Yeah. Dude, it's cool though. It's really cool that they did this, especially on the Pro too. It's gonna look even better. But yeah, so that's really really fun, and I did that last night, and I did it today. It's like late at night. I was too tired to play Pragmata, like, and I was like, you know what, I could do though. I can go for a little
Go for a
flight for
fly.
30 minutes.
Little
Yeah,
flight.
go for a 30-minute. I will say my first flight back, the one that I took at Perth, I was able to land, no problem. That second flight at Hawaii, went. I pushed it too far, too fast, went right down into the ocean. I turned off the like crashing and stuff, so it's like I had like God mode on. So like,
Okay.
and what was amazing was I'm in the water, and they've really gone to like extreme lengths with mapping and detailing this world. The water looks so real, Tom. It was cloudy, it was nighttime, and the plane's just like, floating on top of the water basically. So like I look out to my left and I can like see the plane wing and everything, and you hear the waves and the plane's bobbing up and down in the water, and the waves even aren't, it's not like a flat plane, it's not just like tessellation, it's like actual like waves in, like there's actual wakes in the water, and then I can see Oahu from, I was like, this is fucking unbelievable. Like this
That's
is
nice.
incredible.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's there are like, I don't know if there's actual land vehicles, but they have like hot air balloons and like really low, like you can basically like almost like you can be on the ground in essence in this game now and just explore locations around the world. So it's really cool. You should I would like you to get your hands on it so that we can go in there,
Okay.
because that would be rad.
I'll see it. I'll see what we can make happen.
And then the other game I played is my favorite game from Steam Next Fest by a large margin. It's called Gambonanza, and it's fucking amazing. You can get it on PC or Mac through Steam. You can also get it on iOS. It is, I don't know if it's still on sale right now for Steam. It was at least during launch period. On iOS, it's like half the price, and I guess that's just 'cause they're like, we know what the target audience is. Like we know how much people are willing to pay on mobile. But it's
Wait,
the same
what game?
Gambonanza.
Oh, okay.
So this game is, what if Balatro was chess instead of poker?
Right, you
And
had
what
played
if-
the Steam Next Fest, right?
Yeah, and what if chess was mixed with Into the Breach? Because it's not a full chessboard, and it's not like you're playing a chess match every time. It's really focused little rounds. And that's like the Into the Breach DNA is like very strong in it. It doesn't have the specific thing that Into the Breach has where you know what the next move for the enemy is. And I actually really like that and want to see someone else do it. I want to see that mechanic brought in. But what it does have is there's essentially like a rounds timer. After you make, I think it's like 8 moves, the map will just start to fall apart. Like pieces, like squares on the map will fall off. And if your piece is on it, when they fall off, like that piece is gone. Very similar how Into the Breach, like the world will start to collapse. Like if you stay on it for too long, it just accelerates. You have to finish the map. And it starts out small. So if you remember in Balatro, like the rounds are called antes, and you have to make it through like the 8th. Each ante had a small blind, a big blind, and then the boss blind. So there's 3 rounds in an ante, and an ante was like a stage, right? Like a stage has 3 rounds, and there were 8 levels of it. So to beat a deck on Balatro, you had to beat the 8th boss every time. This one, they call them gambits, and it's the same format of like you have to get through 3 rounds in each gambit, and you have to beat the 5th gambit to beat the game. There's an endlessness to it. You could keep going beyond. Same thing in Balatro. And then similar to Balatro, you are earning currency, and then in between rounds, you are buying different pieces. And that's where it gets weird, is you have 2 things on your left and your right. And similar to Balatro, where you have cards, and this you have your chess pieces, and similar to Balatro, where you have jokers, you have your you have this special token pieces. God, what are they called? Are they called gambits? I don't know why in my brain I can't remember. I'm going to pull it up so that I can see. Could I get the right name for it? But this is where it gets crazy. So there'll be things like, okay, if you take a piece with a pawn, you can immediately go again. Like that's a thing you can unlock. And you can have 5 of them at any time. And they will let you just completely changed the way that you were playing chess. Like I had a really cool one that was like anytime I take a piece on my turn from my like stockpile and I add it to the board, I'm like, okay, I need an extra piece on the board this round. If it's a pawn, I had one that just turned it into a queen. Anytime I moved a pawn into the game, it just became a queen. I didn't have to take it to the other side or any. And so as you go, the map also gets bigger. It starts out as like a 5x5 grid, and it's like a sort of like 3-on-3 match of chess pieces, and then eventually it gets up to like almost a full chess size match, and like you're having this like big battle. And it's so weird because in a way, chess is like the original tactics game. Right?
Sure, no, yeah.
Right? Like in a weird way, like chess is the
turn-based
first
tactics, yeah.
And this is like, well, what if we treated chess like a tactics video game? And then when you make it to the ultimate version of like the hardest mode of that, it's basically, it's almost pure chess, but with these really crazy rules. It's like, if you liked Balatro and you're interested in something that has a little bit more strategy, as far as like the actual game of it versus just building hands, like it's different where the strategy lies. You have to spend more to like Balatro. The strategy is more about figuring out the best combos for your pieces, for your cards. And in this, the strategy is like, you do have to actually like think about how you want to play the game a little bit differently, because there is the chess mechanic. But otherwise, far and away, this is the game that I think like really solidifies this format, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I really hope we don't call these things Balatro likes, and I understand that's just what's going to happen because we shouldn't call things Metroidvanias, and we should. I also don't think we should call things roguelikes,
They've
right?
been calling things Metroidvanias before I was born.
I know, but we shouldn't, right? Like they're just because it's like what like it's a platformer, right? It's a platformer. It's like it's a combat based platformer. It's an exploration platformer. Is it a puzzle platformer? Is it?
I mean, yes, but
is it a platform mapper? It's a mapper, right? Like it's just you have to add too many genre names.
I mean, I think that it gets across the point though of like it's like it Metroidvanias are games that at the when they were first coming out, it was like those two franchises like invented that genre. Like they literally invented that, like those specific mechanics working in tandem like that. And then so many games just copied that. And like, so I think that, I mean, I certainly agree with you. Like we can't
my point
just
is it's more of a format, right?
But
like
Souls-like is just like an action RPG. But there are specific things about games that are Souls-like, and there are a lot of games that have the bonfire mechanic, have this like all of the things that Souls invented. So, like, if I said Souls is like an active, an action adventure RPG, you'd be like, that wouldn't really explain what the experience is. But if I say Souls-like, like you immediately understand what that means. It's difficult. You're going to die. You're going to lose resources on death. You're going to have to find bonfires, this, that, the other. Like, I do think there is a use.
No, I understand the use to it. I just don't like it. I wish we could try and figure out a way to be more precise with the genres because the problem with the use to it, Tom, is that for a lot of people, it also then puts this thing in the back of your head of it. Oh, it's just a copy of this, so it's not doing anything original.
1000%. Yes.
And I don't think that's true. I think the game made the genre, and then we failed to title the genre. So now what we're doing is, in essence, calling everything else derivative when it's not. Right? It's like, no, it was groundbreaking for creating a genre, but now we shouldn't have labeled the genre the name of a franchise that's still being made. That's like sort of the, if they never made another Metroid or Castlevania game, then I guess it wouldn't really matter. But because they're still making Metroid and Castlevania games, it just makes it sound like anything else is like derivative of it. You're going to get that with Hollow Knight, right? Now that like, it's like, oh, well, this is a more so people will be like, oh, it's a Hollow Knight like, right? People will say that about stuff. Like when that Mio game came out, people were like, oh, it's kind of like it's a Hollow like. And I'm like, no.
It's
like,
right. It's just a Metroidvania.
And the reason I say that is there are so many video games where some of the basic core concepts of Balatro, which are you're going to take something that used to work as a game, right? I used to be able to sell just poker on the Game Boy, and that was amazing. And people would play that, right? It would have card games on it. But it's too simple now, right? You have to build like everyone used to buy like it would have like a Hasbro pack. It'd be like Monopoly. You would do but now someone's been like, hey, there are things we can do because it's a video game. We can elevate it. So it's like it's about like modifiers and combo building, and we make them run based. But instead of calling it run based, we call it a roguelike, or now we call it a Balatro like because it also has combos and modifiers. I'm like, I wish we could evolve the language around it a little bit more instead of just saying it's like this other thing. Only because it is a little bit lazy. I just feel like it's a little bit lazy because I don't think that this game, as much as it clearly has taken a lot from Balatro, like its interface for the shop is just downright. We are just
I remember when you showed me. I remember when you were showing like the Steam page or whatever. I was like, oh, you ain't joking. Like this looks like a sepia tone Balatro from what I can remember.
But because the actual game it doesn't play like Balatro.
Sure, it's chess. So
like that's where I'm like,
it's fundamentally like
So that's why I do stress people. I'm like Into the Breach as well. Like if you like Into the Breach, you should play Gambonanza because it feels actually more like
it's an Into the Breach like.
It's an Into the Breach.
Oh, man alive. Well, cool. Yeah, so, I'm glad that it's good.
Yeah, I'm hoping to like get some serious hours into Pragmata maybe this weekend. But we'll see.
We shall see.
Got a couple little updates here, Tom. So I've been doing lately some stuff. I've been maxing. Tom, I've been sleep maxing, Tom.
Okay, tell me.
Look at this.
I mean, that looks awesome. I need something like this.
So check this out.
So what's going on with this?
So this is the Manta. It's like a sleep mask. I got the silk one at first because I was like, oh, this is okay, actually, let me backpedal.
Okay. Is this okay?
Let me backpedal. Okay. I have had to wake up like extra early a few times recently with Penny. She was, for like brief periods, she was waking up really early, and I would just like get up and do it. And then I couldn't fall back asleep because it was like too bright out. So I was like, I'm gonna try sleep mask. And I used to always think that I needed to sleep with like a TV on, but actually the truth is I just needed sound, not light. And using a sleep mask has been amazing. So I got a sleep mask because I always sleep with my AirPods in. So I got a sleep mask like 2 weeks ago, and it's unbelievable. The only problem is they have this great system of these cups that are elevated so that the material doesn't touch your eyes. So the sleep mask will never actually touch your eyeball. So it's really comfortable.
Yeah.
The problem is on the basic one, it's a full circle. So if you're a side sleeper, no good. And I always roll onto my slide. So inevitably, like I would wake up and it's like off my head, and then I have to like get it and put it back on. And it wasn't, so I upgraded and returned that one. And I recently got, this one has built-in speakers.
That's
with a battery pack that lasts like 24 hours. So like I what I'll do is I put on a podcast. Usually I put on like stuff you should know. I put on episodes that I've heard. I'll put on like old episodes. Sometimes I'll put on this history podcast I'm listening to, and I'll put the speed down to 0.9. So it's just a little bit, everyone's talking just a little bit slower. And then, I'll put a timer on, like the latest, like to be like, oh, when the episode ends. So then if I wake up and I missed anything, I'll just like rewind it a little bit. But this has it built in, so I don't need to use my AirPods anymore. And this one, they're shaped like they're beveled. So when you sleep on the side, it's not like you don't feel it on. It's amazing. I've been sleeping.
How much is this?
This one's expensive.
Well, how expensive is
the one with the speakers was like $140.
Oh, so you can get it without speakers.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think the cheapest one's like around 60.
Okay, cool. Because I had a cheap eye mask and it was doing the trick, but I hated the fabric feeling on the eyes.
It was too uncomfortable. I couldn't deal.
And then also the material around the nose had worn, and it was like a metal bridge, like like a paper clip thin metal bridge, and so like that was digging through now, and I was like, okay, I can't really use this because I'm realizing that we haven't installed. You can't really see into the back of our bedroom, right? The bedroom's at the back of the house. We're surrounded by foliage. Like, you can't really see into it from anywhere.
The house is a jungle.
So we don't, right. So you don't, so we haven't put up like a curtain or anything there yet.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And we want to because we just should, because I'm sure you can see in. But also I'm at the point where I'm like, especially after Vegas this past weekend where I like slept like a baby, and I'm like, I think it's because I can black the room out. Like I need darkness. Like
Turns out it really helps.
It really helps to sleep.
Took me 38 years to find that out.
So I had started wearing an eye mask and I had to get rid of it, and I've just been, now it's this thing of like the moment the sun comes up, like I'm not really sleeping. And so I'm looking at a mask, so I might. I've tried the cheaper ones. I had the same experience. I mean, I mean, $60 for like better sleep is worth it, in my opinion. So
I had the exact same experience. So like,
what's it called? The Manta.
Yeah.
Okay.
It like came up, and I was just like, I got it on a whim, and I really thought when I looked at the cups,
this was an Insta
purchase.
This
is on Instagram. But I've seen this before, and I've always been like, I don't know, because I thought the cups wouldn't work. I was like, oh, what if I didn't realize they're Velcro, so you can just move them so that they're in the appropriate
the silk ones
size.
Are these big circles. Like, why would you?
That's the one I had gotten, the silk one.
Why would you
great.
Do that?
It was great till you turned sideways.
Oh, the basic one's only like $40.
Oh, okay. There you
go.
Yeah, try it out. It's great. Loved it. Sleepmaxxing. Everybody should do it. The other thing, kid just turned 10 months. The difference between 9 and 10 months is crazy. Yesterday, first tooth came in, so no more toothless over here.
Wow.
Yep. In the last month, she's saying mama, she's saying dada. She can wave, she can clap, she can stand up on her own for short periods of time. She's trying to walk. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, baby is on the way out. Kid's coming in. It's sort of, we're in that transition phase now. Gonna go to Disney.
The trans phase.
Yeah, transition phase.
She's already trying to. You fucking woke, liberal, lefty California, fucking transing your baby at 11 months. You going to Disney?
Yeah, well, so we have family coming. Hopefully, if there's still gas to fly planes at the end of the month, and then again the following month. But we'll see. I did say, like I said to her family who's coming, like over Memorial Day weekend, and my family's coming for Penny's first birthday, and they all want to also like go to Disney because if you're gonna get all the way here anyway, I'm like, I said to Therese, I'm like, there's a chance none of this happens.
Yeah.
There's a chance none of this happens because there's not going to be fuel for these planes.
I am confirmed for
Summer Games Fest.
SGF now. I am going to come, but we still don't have dates for. We haven't been told what days we should book flights for. And I'm like, every day that we delay, surely these prices are going up, and so. And
I wonder if there's
who knows?
Pressure on Jeff to move it to Canada.
No, I don't think so.
Just from like international people I know that like show games not wanting to come to America.
I know international developers have certainly voiced like, "Hey, it is." I just think it would. I think that. I mean, it's not
he loves Hollywood.
Easy. It's I mean, there's that.
But
there's multiple reasons.
Dad.
Yeah, maybe it's time. Yeah, he returns to his Canadian roots.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to do that is a huge project. Because the thing is like...
all the relationships are here.
Also, something you have to understand as well about specifically the event of Playdays itself. Summer Game Fest is... And, like Keeley makes the show. But the Playdays thing is actually a completely separate entity that Summer Game Fest just helps finance, helps produce. It's Summer Game Fest play days, but like it's actually like a separate company that's putting it together. So, you know, if they were to bring it to Canada, there's infrastructure that would need to be set up. You know, it's not obviously just next year it's Canadian SGF. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the world looks like this time next year, even. Yeah. But yeah,
we're gonna go.
Hopefully, we'll get some flights in
soon. So we'll see. Yeah, exciting.
See.
I don't know. I got nothing else. Do you want to talk about some game
news? Yeah, let's do some news.
Some video, James.
Yep.
All right then.
Sorry. Okay, so news. Let's start with this hilarious thing. This article has a paywall. Let's see. GameStop, may be by eBay.
Oh, Jesus.
So here is all the basically things going on here and here. The latest chapter in video game retailer GameStop's tumultuous story is unfolding. This is from Eddie McCoo at GameSpot. As the company plans to make a deal to buy eBay for $55.5 billion, GameStop said in a news release that it submitted a non-bidding proposal to buy 100% of eBay. But since that's happened, first off, there's been this embarrassing interview with Ryan Cohen, who is a fucking chud.
Yes.
Who
he sucks.
Fucking sucks. And in this interview, he has no clear plan. You know, obviously, it would be taking on a ton of debt. But even then, when you add up all the different numbers from the financing, it still doesn't add up, and he doesn't really have an answer. Then eBay said that it's announced this, but like we haven't had like there's been no fucking. It's like Trump with Iran, right? Like Trump will come out and say we've been negotiating.
He's trying to pump up his stock.
Yes, because here's the thing: if Ryan Cohen, as per his agreement, as part of being CEO, as part of his like pay package, if he gets if he gets GameStop to 100,
you guys should just change the name. Or they should.
After,
yeah, I mean, you are. If you
them.
you are going to outlive them at this point. It will be yours.
If he gets,
man, what if he bought GameSpot?
Oh God, no.
Sorry. If he gets
GameStop to $100 billion valuation. Yeah, here it says Cohen would personally stand to benefit in a major way if he can succeed in transforming GameStop's business into a $100 billion behemoth. Earlier this year, GameStop announced a new compensation package for Cohen that would pay him as much as $35 billion if he can reach certain extremely lofty market value and profitability targets, including reaching a valuation of $100 billion. So it is just for this piece of shit to try and get his fucking payday. He doesn't care about how sustainable this is, any of this. And so it's fucking insane. And it's not going to happen. Dude is too, like, you're not Trump, bro. Like, it's just not going to happen.
No, he's just another one of these tech CEOs that's like, fucking high on ketamine all the time.
Hey, remember that fucking guy, the farmer guy who like was charging out the wazoo and then he went to prison?
No.
The farmer bro, the guy who, the little dweeby looking guy.
Pharma, yes.
Martin Shkreli. Yes,
I thought you
Martin
said farmer.
Shkreli.
I thought you said farmer. I'm like, farmer guy.
No. Remember like, this fucking guy?
James
and I think he's in jail now.
Is he? Did he get pardoned?
In May 2022, he was released early from the low security federal prison. He is
course he
permanently
was.
banned from serving as an officer of any publicly traded company, which is still
Of course he
not
was.
enough.
Of course he was pardoned.
Wow, that whole
Rules
him.
for ye and not for thee.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is like that moment happened a decade ago now, 2016.
When did he buy Wu-Tang album?
I think that was definitely pre-COVID for
Yeah.
sure.
That guy
Let's
sucks.
see. There's gotta be a Wu-Tang album Wikipedia.
I mean, they were right. Cash rules everything around me.
Let's see.
They've been telling everyone for a long time.
They have. They've been saying it. Yeah, 2018.
People are saying things.
Oh no, he did it. He did it in 2015.
He sucks.
Yeah, fucking yeah. Anyway, he has Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, has big Martin Shkreli vibes. Okay, and then we had some announcements. One that was planned, or one that we knew about was happening. We got a look at Stranger Than Heaven, and so this is I think pretty much now confirmed to be set in the world of Yakuza. This is from the same developers, but it's a game that takes place over essentially a century in different time periods in different locations, and so it's multiple exists in multiple time periods. Snoop Dogg will be a character. It says here the presentation introduced to us a variety of characters, including Orpheus, Snoop Dogg, a smuggler doing dirty business on the high seas who takes Makoto under his wing. So Snoop Dogg is in it. And yeah, this looks pretty sick. Coming out sometime this winter. It's a Game Pass title as well. So there you go for all you Yakuza sickos. You're getting a Yakuza game or like a spin-off with Snoop Dogg. But the real crazy reveal happened literally an hour before that with the announcement of Star Fox for the Nintendo Switch 2, with Miyamoto being like, hey, in 3 minutes time, we're doing a direct around Star Fox. I hope you tune in.
It's amazing. I love it. Tom,
chaotic, man.
I love
absolute
Nintendo
chaos.
Today app. I love the way they do things now because Nintendo saw the writing on the wall and they understood no good really comes from us on X.com. We shouldn't be beholden to the whims of people like Elon Musk. We should just have our own app. And we're Nintendo. People will come. And the people that miss out, they'll catch up. Like that's their model. And guess what? They're fucking right. They're fucking right.
I mean, it'll be this one thing where they post about it in the Nintendo Today app, and then later it'll obviously go on their socials. But the news is broken through that. It's so funny. Anyway, so this has been rumored for a while. It's also been rumored that there's 2 Star Fox games, and this one is yet another remake of Star Fox 64. There are obviously enhanced visuals. The characters are a very kind of realistic looking character, which I think, depending on your taste, you either love it or hate it. There are shots where they look good, I think, and then there are some shots where I'm like kind of like flat up front. These characters, like dynamically posed at an angle, good. It's almost like there's a great back when Twitter was Twitter. There's a great account to follow, which is Simpsons, like up front, because Simpsons characters, you always kind of see them from the side, but like the still frames where you're looking at them dead on, you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? There's a bit of an effect here with that, but I mean, high fidelity, like unbelievable what I think the Switch 2 is able to pull off. It obviously has Switch 2 implementations like mouse controls on the Joy-Con. It has the VTuber effect, right? Where you can, if you're doing voice chat, you can be one of the characters and it matches your face and everything.
Okay. So I think, Tom, that is something that is just coming directly to Game Chat and not just Star Fox. I believe we'll be able to use these avatars outside of Star Fox. Is that correct, or do you not know?
I don't know if you need to own the game. Play the game to get the avatar.
To get them.
Yeah, but they showed someone else playing Mario, and then no. I think you were playing Mario, and you could. Yeah, I think you can
but
play
I think
other
you probably.
games.
I'm guessing you have to own the game to do it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm assuming so. So they're adding.
This would be sick. That would be such an awesome packet. Like there was briefly in the Discord, like the startup sounds that you can get on your consoles, and I'm like, I wish every game got to come with its own. Like when I turn on like the PlayStation,
Mhm.
like every game should get to have one startup sound that comes with your console, so that like if you want, you can set that one now as your startup sound. Like this would be sick.
The Steam
I
Deck
want
does
this.
it. It's really cool. Like there's a bunch
true.
of
Yeah,
like
you can do that.
different
Yes.
Steam Deck loading
Yes.
screens, and some of them based off games, and you can randomize them if you want. It's awesome.
I think this is really, really, really cool, and I want them to do this with everything. Like I want like every new Nintendo game to give me stuff like this for game
Sure,
checks.
to
I also think it'll make
integrate
people
into the-
more like Alex would probably enjoy putting on his camera more if it doesn't actually show him.
Sure.
Like if Alex could do this whole podcast as Star Fox.
that would be. I mean, we'll have to do a podcast episode like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have to like one of us will have to screen record the TV, and we'll just have. We should do that.
We'll
That would
have
be
to
pretty
do
fucking
that.
rad, Tom. Maybe maybe the week Star Fox comes out, we'll do the Star.
There we
gotta
go.
do that.
We did when we
gotta
play
do
it.
that.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to.
yeah.
You're gonna have to capture your Switch that week.
Yeah, I'll get it.
It'll be
set up
cool
for
as
that.
hell, though.
I'll get it set up for that.
That'd be so cool.
So it's adding challenge modes as well, so you can go through the missions and like do different challenges that weren't in the original game. It's adding a bunch of cutscenes and additional things like that, because I think a lot of the story like happens in the over the comm chats. There's not a ton of like stuff in between, but they're adding these briefings and all of this, which is cool. And it's 50. It comes out June 25th. It is going to be $50 digitally, $60 physical. So it's not a. I mean, it is full price, but it's not $70 for the game or whatever. And and then the rumor is there's still another Star Fox game in the works. And so I imagine that'll be a 2027 shtick.
I have a prediction about that. Because we were all surprised, I think, right, that new DreamWorks design for Star Fox wasn't the new Star Fox. Partially because the thing that we learned about the new Donkey Kong design was that it wasn't from the Mario movie. It was that Nintendo gave the design to DreamWorks and said, "This is what you should model Donkey Kong on."
Because
right?
we're about to change him.
All of those designs were also like overseen by Nintendo. So here's what I believe. I believe that this is not the way that these characters are going to look going forward. I think that's just how they're going to look in this game.
Oh, interesting.
And I think that's because, and I looked online and everyone had the exact same reaction I did. I texted you in the group like right after it aired. I was like, oh, it's cool because they look like the characters that they made. Like on the N64 box art, they were like the puppets. Sure. There was like these stop motion. They also did these like big costume things for like they made this VHS promotional video for it and stuff. And they kind of look like those because those pictured them as like real versions of the animals. And so in my head, I'm kind of thinking like, oh, what they're actually doing with this game is sort of giving us a like, if we made Star Fox 64 today, this is like the ultimate version of that vision, right? This is a modern version of that vision and not like a reinterpretation of it. And so I'm kind of, because I do think that other design is better. And I think it probably lends itself to animation so much better than this does, like looking more realistic. It's also
I wonder if
like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like my devil's advocate take on the look is like it looks unlike anything else Nintendo makes. So if you are trying to establish Star Fox as another, like, really resurrected as like, no, like we're gonna make Star Fox games consistently and try and make it, another Nintendo franchise that we can dip into. I think it makes sense from the standpoint of it looks unlike anything else they make. And so, I'm in two minds about it. And I'm also...
I don't dislike it.
also, I think when you're playing the game, like I've never played Star Fox 64, so honestly, like I'm super stoked for this game because like I've never played the original.
Replayed it on the Switch, which by the way, it is just like you go through a path and you get to the boss. It is a run based game, you know, like you kind of just play through it.
And so once you're behind the sticks and you're playing the game, it's not going to really matter much because you're not, you know, you're just in the ship, and the ship looks incredible. So, yeah, I'm personally excited for it. I get, like, people being sick of it being another 64 remake. I get that. Hopefully, they very quickly are able to... hopefully, this is good, and hopefully, another one will come out relatively soon, and it will be like, okay,
along with Ocarina of Time and other things. Like, it seems like
which I think this gives more credence. And I think part of the reason why we're doing it is because we're hitting the thing where it's like the people who are super into like N64 era are like entering that. Like, it's time to bring that era. You know, that is retro now, right? Like, that is so.
Also, Nintendo, to be fair, like, as much as they were like port old games, we don't really get like full on remakes. Like, and the remakes have always been very light touches. You know, there aren't like a million remakes, like not in the way that like you get with like The Last of Us, or they're much more light.
I mean, they just released Galaxy again for Switch,
but that's not a remake. That's not a remake.
Sure, yes, there isn't anything that is like remakes.
A full. Yeah. They will port their games endlessly. Every time there's a new system, they will make it so that there's a way you can buy that video game again. Sure. They will absolutely do that. But we don't get remakes from them, really.
Star Fox is really one of the few, right? Because like the 3DS one was clearly a big remake. And
there's a 3DS Ocarina. They've remade Super Metroid before, but like all of them have been kind of light touches, and it sounds like we're also getting another Super Metroid remake as well. So, and there's apparently another real Metroid game. So, sounds like Nintendo's got a lot fucking headed towards us over the next couple years.
I think that their plan is I think we are going to hit these, like, we're going to hit it on multiple fronts, and we are going to make these big IP commitments, and we have these characters that we just don't get to see very long, and because we can no longer make a 3D Mario in, 3 to 4 years, they're like, okay, we need to kind of fill things out with these other characters, and I mean, I'm all for not just dipping into the tried and true. Here's a new Mario game every fucking year or whatever, even though we still end up with
we don't have
Mario.
a 3D Mario yet. And in fact, it sounds like we're not getting one. It sounds like next year could be 3D Mario and Smash
Which
Brothers,
is crazy because next year will be 10 years since Odyssey. Like, it will have been a decade.
Next year might be a 3D Mario, Smash Brothers, and new Pokemon. Like that.
Yeah.
20, that might be a crazy
It'll be a big year for Nintendo. I think
Smash is going to be early 2028 though, and not 2027. I think Smash
I was reading rumors that early next year, but
great.
We'll see.
Let's fucking go, bro. Let's fucking go. I'm ready for it tomorrow.
Sure. And that is the news of the week.
It's not the news for the week, Tom. It's the news for the moment. There's a little bit of news that was left untalked about, and this week's Tribal Council.
No, don't.
Man, Tom, I'll tell you what I did this week on Survivor. I said, so last week, I pulled Devins from my team when I should have left him in. I would have scored big points, moved up in the rank much faster. But I felt like he was a target. I was like, he's a target. So I pulled him because he didn't have an idol. He had a fake idol. So this week I said, I'm putting Devins in. And I pulled Emily and Aubrey. I fucking left Ozzy and did not. Dude, I am bummed about Ozzy. I kind of wish Rizzo had told him, but I really think it's because he just wouldn't shut the fuck up about his game. And I think Rizzo was like, oh, I can't beat you. Okay, like, I guess you got to go. I think he didn't shut his mouth, and I think he put him and Suri in danger, and that's why Rizzo let him go. I think if he had not maybe talked so much game,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what Rizzo said, right? Like Rizzo was like, "Hey, man, you're," and look, I mean, someone pointed out they're like, Ozzy really just kind of he was playing, I think, a good game, but he's kind of rudderless without Siri.
Yes.
And
I mean, his social
Siri.
game is almost non-existent. Like,
Yeah.
it's very good in that, like, people like him, but his
people like him.
is,
Yes, the
strategic game is bad.
Yeah, it's the strategy, social kind of hybrid, like of reading how things are going, like needing to look at like, yeah, and you needed to look at it like Final Five. I am so happy that Suri made it through again, because I was worried there, and
I really wish Devins tried to work with her instead of. I really wish he had been like, look.
Well, I think now,
let's just you, me, and Emily get Tiffany out. He's like, let's not give Jonathan the power. Like, let's just work together. Let's just get Tiffany out. Like, I wish he had done that. Because Suri will always be like, as long as you're not saying my name. Like, that is her motto.
Or someone in my ally or whatever.
Exactly.
And I like the pitch of it being like, no, like let's not do Jonathan's plan.
Yeah.
Like, he has too much power this week. Like, fuck it.
Oh,
like,
he just made he's really like he got exactly what he wanted twice.
Yeah.
Like, that is bad for everyone else. I don't think he can win at Tribal Council, but he is making a case for himself.
No, he caused D to spiral and blow up her own game
for himself.
And I think the fact that they've obviously been like, he is trying to turn himself into the Boston Rob of, the second coming of Boston Rob.
I am so bummed that Ozzy didn't beat Boston Rob's record.
I know, dude. I wanted him to have it. I really wanted him to do that, and I'm just bummed that didn't happen. And yeah, it was heartbreaking, man, because and I shared a Instagram with you guys about.
Oh, I watched it.
How he's like I'm still thinking about it. I'm still like thinking about the fact that I didn't fucking play that idol, and like it's so tragic, and he's so bummed out when he leaves.
He seems like the nicest guy.
Yeah, he seems super genuine, super nice guy.
Just so you know, someone made like a list of like the wokest to least woke Survivor players on season 50.
God.
And he's the wokest.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. He was listed as the wokest.
Okay, Survivor. Good, great. Well, it's even more of a bummer that he didn't win the 2 mil. But yeah, unfortunate. And what's more unfortunate is I'm in the toilet on Tribal Council.
Well, let's talk about it. Slater and Noah Gunchpot are tied, 483 points. It says first and second, but again, if there's a tie at the end here, then winner's going to be considered as both. What's interesting here is they both have 4 players, and they have similar players. They both have Aubrey, they both have Devins, they both have Jonathan, but one of them has Joe and one of them has Rizzo. So that's a pretty big, like, that's going to be the determination of everything. 3 points behind. Calvin actually still has 5 players, so he's just got to move Devins out of his bench back onto the field, and he also can make a run for this. And now in 4th place, I have climbed that ladder week after week after week at 478 points. I'm only 5 away from being tied for first. And I also still have 5 people left. I just got to move Aubrey back onto my bench. And then behind me, it's still very close. Like, Ants moves at 476, Alien's at 472, Tuna's at 470. Oh, you dropped behind Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, because you got double eliminated.
Yeah, I got Emily and Ozzy both gone.
This is what you get for selecting the least woke person on your team with Stephanie.
No, right. I had the woke and the least woke. So now all I have is who? Devins and...
You have 4 people left. You have Devins, Suri, Rizzo, and Aubrey. Oh, no, that's Alex. Sorry. You have Devins, Rizzo, and Aubrey. I mean, you still have 3 very strong players. So that's
I mean, come on, Devins. Like, him doing his jig, his little dance, like... Brilliant. And he played his idol, which was the way to do it. Like, and I like what you brought up of like maybe he has to team with Suri and Rizzo, because I think Rizzo.
There's only 2 strong duos left, right? It's like Devins and Aubrey, kinda like Aubrey's willing to go wherever she needs, but she is with Devins, right? Like because she will be grouped that way. And then Rizzo and Suri. Now Tiffany kind of thinks she's with Suri, and Suri will like use that, but she's with Rizzo. Like she's absolutely with Rizzo. So like if Rizzo, Jonathan, and Joe are kind of
Tiffany and Aubrey also had a little pairing for a while. Joe is just, oh my god! Like you can't even work with Jonathan. Jesus Christ! Like, dude, like
he's so annoying.
It's just.
He seems like he's a good person in real life, but I don't
he seems like
him
a genuinely nice guy. But his the fact that
I love
this is what I texted to. Well, yeah, that's what I texted to. So this is what I texted Tuna about him. While
you're reading that, I'll tell you what I said to Therese while I was watching with her. I said, both of them, Jonathan and Joe, just seem like the kind of like fucking tough guy men that the second they don't get their way, they just act like children. They act like little babies, and they whine and they pout and they get quiet.
Yeah, and he was saying something to the effect of like he thought it was important, like Devon's doing what he did with the coin flip and being like, he said it was like in poor taste. And I'm like, what show do you think you're on? Yeah. Do you think you're like not on a TV show that's meant to be entertaining? And like,
it's
like, we're not on like fucking Boy Scout Live. This is fucking Survivor.
It's so lame.
It really annoys the piss out of me, and it's such a shame because I had such high opinion of him after his season, and it really was.
He just can't play this game. He can't play the game of Survivor. He can only do the challenges. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
Which, by the way, you know, for someone that's like, I'm going to stand up for autism, he sure went after Christian. You know, like what are we doing? You know.
Oh, what are we doing here? Yeah. Anyway, good season. I'm upset. Hopefully, this is the final twist. I just want like a clean game from here on out.
Yeah, I did. I mean, Tommy, have you heard the rumors for next season?
Right, 2 teams of 20.
Back to
2
the
teams
OG.
of 10.
Yeah, 2 teams of 10. I would love to see a season of 2 teams of. I just want to see how it goes. To see like, is this actually what we want? Give us 2 teams of 10, and put in nothing, just hidden idols. Don't even put in any other advantages. Just put in like a single hidden idol that someone can find. Like just strip it down to the barest bones and then start putting stuff back in. I think they gotta pull a lot out. See see how people respond for a season. You know, I hope so. But otherwise, like it's been a real roller coaster this season.
It's been a roller coaster. It's been
really
highs and lows, but very entertaining. And
Emily, look, I didn't want to see Emily go, but all the stuff with them was great. It was the other tribe stuff was like hard to watch and not entertaining for me because I really didn't want Ozzy to blow himself up.
This season, and even you and Tuna have agreed as people that have seen a lot of the show, a lot more of the show than I have. Some of the best moments in all of the show have happened this season. So like it's just that combined with some really just like in moments in poor taste. Let me fucking say that.
Yeah. I really think Rick Devens would come back. Like it's crazy for me to say this, but in my head I'm like I want to see him again, or put him on the Traders. Put Rick Devens on the Traders.
Yeah, he'd be good on that.
Put him in a castle. Put that man in a castle in a suit. Let him live in his element.
Let him cook. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, it'd be great. Oh man. Well, Tom, this is that time of the show where Alex usually leads us out. But if you don't mind doing the honors.
Yeah. Go play Mixtape. Go support this game. It's really fun, and like I said, there's not a game that I played recently that I couldn't recommend to more people, so go enjoy it. But yeah, until there's more of this song, so
you keep wraps everything up usually, but now
it's been a good
really
episode. Tuna's a little bitch, and he can
his wife said, don't go on tonight.
Should have played that idol. Stay unranked.
Suck it.